right, welcome back to another Spinato Spin. Great to have you here on this happy Halloween Eve here and October 31st, 2018. Super to have you here. Going to talk to you tonight a little bit about discipline. And discipline is one of the most important things you can ever do if you're ever going to move forward, change things, hit the four squares. You know, being physically, mentally, socially, and spiritually at your best, right? Well, one of the best teachers I ever heard of, and one of the best motivating speakers I ever heard of, a gentleman named Art Williams, gave me a lot of insight as to what's going on. He said something very, very powerful. I'm going to throw this out at you too, and hopefully it'll get you going, get you fired up. He said there never is, all right, and there's never been, and there never will be a test that can measure the size of a person's heart. You see, you just don't know by looking at somebody whether or not they got the goodies, whether or not they could do something. The only way you could do it is give them a chance, right? The only way you could do it is put them out there and see what they could do. That's what it comes down to. You know, a lot of people say, well, I'm going to do something unbelievable. I'm going to do something great. Wonderful. Just go ahead and do it, right? You know, discipline comes in. You got to be able to do it. Here's the way to look at discipline. This is what discipline says to you over and over. It says you'll do it one day, but will you do it the second day? And will you do it the day after that? They say one of the greatest definitions of a winner is a person that won't quit until the job gets done. That's how you define a winner. That's really what it's all about. The discipline that you put forward and the discipline you decide to accomplish is what it comes down to. And look at this one here, just to give you a better idea. It's desire. See, desire is only a small d when it compares to discipline. Discipline is huge. Discipline determines whether or not you'll quit. And that's tough. That's tough talk. You'll quit on yourself. You'll quit on everybody. You'll start quitting, and they say when you start quitting, it gets easier and easier to keep on quitting. You don't want to do that. You want to have a discipline. You want to do something over and over and over and over again that gets you where you want to go. You see, there's a couple things out there that we all kind of overlook a lot, don't we? There's a lot of things that we think about and we think we're on the right track, but maybe we're not. Maybe we're not. Maybe we don't fully realize the actual potential that we have. Maybe we don't practice the things like we need to practice over and over. They say perfect practice or practice doesn't make perfect. It's perfect practice that makes perfect, right? Isn't that what it comes down to? It's the discipline. You know, the discipline of making sure you get things done when you say you're going to get done. How about the discipline of showing up on time? How about the discipline of just showing up? You know, they say three things are real simple. You know, work hard, live right, find something you believe in. You could be 90% of all the people, be 90% ahead of all of them out there if you do those three things. Because most people don't really work hard in this country, do they? You know, Art Williams said this a long time ago. He said one of the biggest tragedies I've ever seen is most people really don't work hard. What's working hard? Working every second of the day, not giving up, not breaking your discipline, right? You got to show up every day and want to fight, want to keep going every day. Work hard, live right. Most people don't live right either. They put themselves through incredible stress problems and eat the wrong foods and don't exercise enough to get themselves going and energized, right? Isn't that what it comes down to? And most people, and this is a real tough one, but it's right on the button. Most people haven't found something, right? They haven't found something. You know, it comes down to work hard, live right. Find something you believe in. Find something you believe in. That's what it comes down to. You believe in it. You believe that you could see something bigger than yourself and you want to be part of it. And you see yourself involved in a great opportunity and something fantastic. That's where all this discipline comes from. That you take the time to determine what it is you want out of life. What it is that you got to get. And you're determined to make the steps. It is vital to be disciplined to be able to do that. You know, some people say, well, you know, I'll do it today. And then that's it. You see them one day and all of a sudden they're gone. Go to the gym. How often does that work, right? What's the busiest time? The early part of the year, right? Oh, there's my New Year's resolution. Here I go. I'm going to work out, watch my smoke. I'm going to be great at doing this workout. And then they show up for a week. Maybe some of them show up for a month. You get lucky with that. But most of them quit. They're not disciplined. You got to be different. You know, here's something I thought about too. When you do some self-talk and you start doing stuff, start saying you. Say it right like this. Say, right now, today, you choose to let nothing stop you or stand in your way. No problem or defeat is ever the end of the road for you. Right? Isn't that what it comes down to? You got to talk to yourself like that, right? You got to be fired up. You got to be anxious. You got to be ready to go. You know, I know roads don't stop, people do. So I make sure my roads keep going, and so do I. I keep moving, and that keeps me, and that keeps you winning, right? And speaking of winning, you will win. Why? I'll tell you why. Because you have faith, courage, and enthusiasm. That's you. That's you. Look in the mirror. Give yourself a pep talk. You know, they say you shouldn't walk out anywhere else unless you're excited and fired up. You can't do it. Go in the closet. Give yourself a pep talk. Get yourself going. Get yourself disciplined. It's very hard to do without discipline, isn't it? Let's look at a couple other bites here. You know, whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, he can achieve. You don't believe that? Think about it. Anyone can conceive anything, right? But if they go ahead and they start believing it, what happens? Things start coming together now, right? They start having faith, right? They have a little courage. They're into it now. And then they can achieve whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe he can achieve. It's that simple. Now think about this. A lot of times say, well, you know, I'll believe it when I see it, you know. No. You'll believe it or you'll never see it. You got to have that mentality where you can see a picture and you could see yourself already there. That's what it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to that simple phrase, say it over and over. Whatever I can conceive and I can believe, I can achieve. Or let's go one step further. We got another couple seconds here. Whatever you can conceive and you can believe, you can achieve. Have yourself a great night. Great to talk to you, and take care. Bye-bye now.